Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Nicole Capps, and I am a friend and neighbor of Councilman Steve McShane. Before I bring Steve up, I just want to highlight some of the accomplishments that Steve has made in his first term as City Council member. So for those who don't know, graffiti has been a big project of his, and he's established and chaired the Salinas Graffiti Task Force, and with that was able in creating a website and a method for online text and app reporting for graffiti that's seen in the city. It works. I've used it, so if you haven't, please download the app or report it online. In regards to technology, he established the first ever app for reporting city code violations and other issues that you see in the city, and amazingly, personally paid for the development of that app for iPhone and Android systems. And as I know, because this is how I met Steve, was through my neighborhood association, he's very, very strong advocate of neighborhoods. He created the Salinas Neighborhood Council, was past president of the Lorna or Los Olivos Riker Neighborhood Association that he lives in. And also regarding city engagement, as I've learned with Steve, and I'm sure many of you know, he's a huge supporter of events and fun parties. And so he wouldn't be Steve if he wasn't planning something fun for everyone to partake in. So that would include the citywide holiday home lighting competition that I've been involved in the last 2 years, co-founder and past chair for Salinas United, as well as the Salinas Valley Food and Wine Festival, a huge event bringing tons of people to our community here in Old Town. So just to name a few others, he's great in his role as City Councilman in having public meetings. I know I've attended quite a few in the last year and a half of these community meetings that he's hosted on various topics. And then he's a strong supporter of parks and recreation, traffic and transportation, and then policy development. So just to highlight a few of his goals for the coming year and years to come. His platform is strong in public safety, so supporting a sales tax directed to public safety, city support for developing and aiding neighborhood-based events and organizations. In regards to economic development, he's greater support for tourism and getting special events to draw more visitors here to our beautiful city. Ongoing reform in culture and having more oversight in our permitting department, and then having a city focus on building our local and regional image. And then in regards to youth, recreation, and the arts, city support for a regional soccer complex in Salinas, stronger collaboration with school districts and the county for after-school programs, and then increased support for public art, cultural celebrations, and our libraries. So with that, I'd like to welcome Councilmember Steve McShane.
I just want to start by saying the sounds in the background are fabulous. That's the sounds of progress in Salinas. This beautiful 5-story building, the improvements at the 200 block, this is just the beginning of something marvelous. And 4 years ago, when I stood here before everybody that was behind me then, it was about safer Salinas, really doing what we can for neighborhoods, and more than anything, keeping government lean. And I'm very proud to say that in 4 years, we've done all of those things. Even when we had to reduce the number of police and fire and support thereof, we've been able to grow a safer Salinas through neighborhoods. The best detectives out there would tell you that they'd much rather respond to an incident where neighbors know neighbors and are willing to stand up and report an incident than something else. And I think that's a big plus. The growth of neighborhood organizations, support from the city, that's huge. And more than anything, having somebody on the council that can prepare a budget and read numbers is very important. You can't run government like business, I know that for a fact, but what you can do is you can take a business mind and acumen and apply it to the many, many contracts and expenditures that come before an organization as large as Salinas, $100+ million. So as Nicole said, this coming term is going to be about, again, continued support for public safety. And that is support for a revenue measure, as we will put more officers and more support for our police and fire on the streets of Salinas. Secondly, growing neighborhoods, again and again and again. I would say stronger neighborhoods make up a stronger community, people that are invested. And for folks like Frank and Ken, people that have had their arms twisted because I wanted you to be a part of Salinas, that's what it's about. People that are engaged in this community, invested in this community, people that love this community so much and so dearly that they'll fight to preserve and protect its image and grow our reputation in the region. I challenge anybody in Monterey, anywhere in Carmel, even outside of here, San Jose, come here because we have a beautiful town that's open for business and ready to prove to you that this is where you want to live, raise your family, and do business. I'm really excited by the support. This is not where it ends, this is where it begins. There's a bunch of material out here. I would just ask that you're willing to stand up and publicly support me today. All it takes is a signature saying you can use my name. My website's live. We're going to have an event on the 28th of March. You're all invited. It's going to be at the Rodeo Grounds, and it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing because it's all about supporting what I'm behind, and that is supporting our good mayor, our council, and our city in a city where, again, it's safe and a great place to do business. So I just want to say thanks to everybody for coming out. I want to once again thank my dad for coming down. It means a lot, Dad, and I love you. And from here on out, let's visit a little bit. I invite you to be a part of this campaign. And again, I want to thank you for your support. So thank you very much.